Welcome to the Incoherent Podcast. Welcome to episode 8 of the Incoherent Podcast. I'm here with Zach. Hoover's not here. He had some other stuff that he needed to do tonight and didn't have the time to jump on. Going to do our Perth Bears episode today, so I hope Zach's got his team together.
Thinking outside the box with my team and talking to you the other day, you said about the salary cap affecting your team, but I don't know.
Mine's not under the salary cap. Or you could probably maybe work it under the salary cap if you really needed to. But I don't think
Bears the new sombrero.
Yeah, well, it'd only be because they're going to pay a lot of money for, they're going to have to throw big money out for the players. So
yeah, I think they'd be looking at these couple of feeder teams. They would have already had their eyes on a lot of the Queensland Cup and a lot of the New South Wales Cup.
Yeah,
there'll be knowing full well that they can start recruiting from November 1.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of players we would know about.
Oh, 100%. There'd be a lot of players that we wouldn't know about, especially, those ones coming through. They're going to give a shot to. They're going to be on train and trial deals, and they're going to be playing for less than 100K.
Yeah.
So that'll help them spend money. I think the spine, if they can spend money on their spine and lock in a good spine, and then they can build from there.
Before we get into our teams, that's what I was going to ask you. What do you think would be, say, in 5 years, what success look like for the Perth Bears? What would it look? What would success be to you?
If they're sort of pushing, I won't say that they've got to be pushing the 8. The Dolphins, they recruited well and they've got themselves into a good spot, but they also got a lot of players at the back end of their careers.
Yeah.
So they bought that experience. But yeah, if the Bears are sitting around sort of 14-10 in 5 years' time, winning games, not getting flogged week in, week out by the bigger and better teams, your Melbournes, your Brisbanes, your Penriths, then I would say they've had a fairly successful start to their campaign.
Yeah. Well, I think I was thinking that maybe that they need to grow the game in Perth, and if they can capitalise on that and expand in Perth itself and, start setting up juniors in WA and embracing that state and drawing in those new fans and getting good membership numbers, I think that's success. But that success is going to come from success on the field. But I think you're right. I don't think they need to be winning grand finals or pushing for the top 4 or anything like that. You need to find players with experience that can set up the culture around the club so that, going forward, they've got a base that they work off, that this is what our club's about. So I know that when the Knights first started, it was all about hard work and, being there for your mate and putting in and just being tough. And that was all part of it. They're not like that now, but hopefully Holbrook can install some of that into them. But, I think that's what you need to build it off. Build off the history of the North Sydney Bears and stuff like that and, go on. But try to capitalise on being in WA and growing rugby league. You've been given it an opportunity. So,
well, 100%. If they can build that culture and then build a franchise from that culture, do exactly what Melbourne's done. Melbourne's, they're loved and hated throughout the whole NRL supporter base. But they built that culture. They've built the fans. Perth can quite easily do. They've got a whole state that can
Yeah.
get behind them.
Yeah.
And that's what they've got to look to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Melbourne are trying to set all their juniors and their New South Wales Cup and all that up now so that they're not running through Queensland Cup and all of that. I know Perth have set up ties with the Brisbane Tigers, and they've also got their North Sydney New South Wales Cup side. But being able to, that's well and good to start with to set yourself up, but I do think that they might need to look at having their own sort of squad in like a New South Wales Cup or a Queensland Cup.
The big thing, it would have to be build that culture. And
Yeah.
they need to be looking for those players that have built culture and they've shown that in the clubs that they're at now. And then, if they can instill that within a fairly new club and workspace over in Perth, well, I think they can be successful. Do I see it happening inside the first 10 years? Probably not. But
Yeah. And that's sort of that's what I've looked at with my team. Like I've got players there that bring experience, but also bring that hard work because that's what they do for their clubs they're currently at. Like they'll dig in and have a go. Like they rarely ever have off games. And on the other side of it, I've got some younger players that are coming through that have shown the goods that going forward, developing and stuff like that will help carry that experience from those players through for the next generation as well. So, yeah, that's what I've looked at. So, anything else?
No, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on your team. So I've gone through and was selected 13, but I couldn't stop. So I've actually gone 1 through
I've got
17.
I've got 17.
So
I've got a bench there, and I've taken it from players. It hasn't come, so we're both going to know that there's going to be players like today. Pezzett was released, Fafita was released. Like there's players that are going to be released that'll probably sign with the Bears, or that we don't know about that won't be on it. We've gone through with players that legally on November 1 will be free to negotiate with the Bears that still have a contract for next season. So there would be other players. There'd be players in the Super League. I haven't got any Super League players in here because I couldn't find anything like that, like, Sailor, and there's players over there that could come back if need be, and I think there will be.
Is it the same November 1 transfer type thing with the Super League, though?
I do believe so.
Like,
I believe so. I'm not sure. The NRL was in discussions with the Super League today about taking it over, and everything went well, apparently. So I think once the NRL does take over, everything will sync up. Just like with the Ashes game on the weekend, there's different rules because they don't follow our rules completely until a couple of years after when they implement the same rules. But it'll probably make it all unified across both competitions. So that's what I believe is going to happen if they end up taking it over. But there's a few other companies that are got a lot of money that are going to put their hand in it. It's whether or not the Super League want to give it control to the NRL or not. So that's only for the NRL to run it. It's not. They'll just set the Super League up the same as what the NRL is here, and with the success that they've had here, just do it a little bit differently, So, yeah. Anyway, we don't know what each other's teams are either, by the way. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's just the biggest surprise for each of us that you guys are going to find out as well.
Yeah.
I think.
Do you think we'll be completely
the hard
different?
one for me.
I've swapped
so.
and changed a couple of times through the week.
I was actually fullback. I was pretty set on. Like when I sat down there, it was hard to pick, but once I've picked me fullback, I'm pretty happy with it. And I think
Yeah, no, I've got
if
one,
he
but
can get out of the system that he's in now and go over there, fresh start, I think he could develop and go to the next level.
yeah, no, mine's the same. I don't actually think that he'll end up over there at all. I think I know exactly what's going to happen, but
I think there's a big
um,
chance my number one does go there.
you reckon?
Yeah. I know he's not real happy with the club
All
he's
right,
at the
well,
moment.
who's your fullback?
Buller from the West Tigers.
Yeah,
He's quite unhappy with the West Tigers at the moment because of things happening in the background with his wife.
yeah,
Wife that promised a start with the women's side, and that they've backflipped on that deal, and now Buller is looking to get out. Like I said, I think
yeah,
if he can gets out of that system, goes over there, there's a big chance he does go to that next level because he shows a lot of potential. He's got that heart and that fight.
yeah. Well, I went with Jai Gray. I think he's got a lot to offer. Like ball playing, running, he's been great for Souths. I don't think Souths will lose him. I think Latrell will end up in the centres and Jai Gray will be the Souths fullback. He's already turned his back on the 360 thing when they said about the 10-year ban, I'm pretty sure. But that is going through what the media says. So, you know, we only know as much as what everybody else does. We've got no inside information or anything like that. But I've gone with Jai Gray because up and coming player, young player, pretty sturdy player to have for a long time on that spine. I did want Cobbo, but I don't think Cobbo has the ball playing ability that Gray has. Cobbo's kind of just a bigger body, just like Latrell is.
I've got to agree with you. Cobbo's he's he wanted to go to fullback, but
Yeah,
he's good there as a replacement and a backup. But to play it
yeah.
consistently, I don't think he's up to it.
As your premier fullback and not having the rest of your spine complete in a new team, I think it's too big an experiment,
Yeah,
to be honest.
but
Um,
yeah, I don't know. Speaking of Cobbo, though, I actually do have him as my number two.
so do I.
So
That's
I think
that's what I've got as well. I've got Cobbo on the wing, and I've also got Jesse Arthurs on the other wing.
I also have Jesse Arthurs at number five. And the reason I went with Cobbo is for that availability for him to be able to go and play in any of those positions across the back
Yeah,
five. His versatility. Jesse Arthurs, he's had a fairly good season up with the
yeah.
Broncos this year, and I think he's going to be chasing more consistent football.
I think they're two very good players. Cobbo's on his way to the Dolphins for one season, so he's very likely for him to land him um, on more money, obviously, to keep him away from the Broncos. And the Broncos already have Mariner. You know, who's their other winger?
Yeah, Jesse Arthurs was there, Mariner.
There's another one there
Yeah,
from the grand final.
I know who you mean. I just can't think of it off the top of my head, but yeah, he's. I don't think Coppo goes back to Brisbane. I know he said he'd like to go back to Brisbane, but if he doesn't sign with Perth and he has a pretty good season with the Dolphins, I think the Dolphins could potentially keep him there.
Yeah,
But he's another one that's like Buller. He can get out of that. Well, he's out of the system now. He's released. He's off to the Dolphins, but if he can now get out of that whole southeast Queensland area and go
yeah,
build a name for himself somewhere in a system that's fresh.
yeah, yeah.
So
No, I agree, and I think Jesse Arthurs has heaps to offer. I think it's just the Broncos already have quality in that position. Like he's not going to get a centre spot there, and I don't think he knocks off Mariner. So
no,
um, I think Jesse Arthur still has a lot to give, and I think he's a very very good winger,
Yeah.
um, and
Um,
he has been for a while. To be honest, he's kind of snuck under the radar
he,
there.
he's just got through and done his job and sort of stood out a bit more this year because Brisbane was sort of going down his side a bit and he was scoring tries, he was involved more. But
Yeah,
yeah, I think they've both got enough first grade experience that Perth could use them both.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but speaking of experience of it, my centre pairing, I've gone with some really good experience. Both can goal kick, so it covers that area as well. And that's Nick Meaney and
I
Ruben
had
Garrick.
I had Meany in my team and took him out when I put Gray in at fullback. I had Meany on the wing, but I took Meany out, so I went with Tomoko and Garrick.
Yeah, Timoko. I don't know if he leaves that Canberra
He put
system.
him. He put himself on the open market the other day. He said he wants to test the market. So Tomoko, compared to Meany, Tomoko's a bit younger, and he's a really good centre, strong runner of the ball, can score a try, and like you said, Garrick, he's reliable. He can goal kick. He's good. He can finish. He can throw a pass. Garrick wouldn't be out of place at fullback because he filled in at fullback at Manly when you know Tom wasn't there. So
Yeah,
you know
that's
I
the other
like
thing,
Garrick as a player.
and that's right. Both centre pairings, mine. I thought can fill in at that one role if needed, or
Yeah,
yeah, Meaney's got the ability. He can slip into six if he's really needed there.
yeah,
Um, I seen the upside to both of them, and Garrick's coming out of a pretty good Manly system.
yeah,
Nick Meaney, well, that Melbourne system that he's come from, I think the
yeah.
experience.
I just couldn't fit Meany in here, but I think Meany would be a good alternative for that centre spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got at
Who's your
six.
six?
Who's your six?
Um, Mine's a little bit out of the box for my six. Well, I think it is, and that's Jake Avarillo.
Avarillo. I didn't like Avarillo because Avarillo's already moved to the Dolphins to start a club and stuff like that, and I kind of like him better at that centre role, I think. But I went with Billy Walters on his way out of the Broncos. The Broncos have signed Pezzett. They've got Mam, and they've got two good hookers coming through. He doesn't really. He's kind of the odd man out, and I think he played very well this year without his dad there. I think he's shown that he can control a team, or he can help with controlling that team. And I think he's got
Yeah,
that little bit of experience there, and you can get, you know, 3 or 4 years out of him being in that position to provide stability. And because I went with a young halfback, just like the Dolphins did with Katoa, I've pretty much done the same thing, and I was actually surprised that he was I could pick him up.
yeah. Walters is. I did have him in my team at 9, so
Yeah,
I think his best position is 9. But yeah, I was thinking Avarillo because yeah, he does have the ability that he can go out to the centres. And my number 14 can slip straight into that 6 role quite easily to give that different, yeah,
yeah,
perspective and give Avarillo the chance. He's a good ball runner. He's not a very
yeah,
strong kicker of the ball, I don't think. That's not his strong suit. But
yeah,
Avarillo's ball running, and if you can set him up in a system where and tell him that, want him to run the ball. Well, I think he's got that going for him.
Yeah.
The other one was a very close second choice at 6 for me. Would have been Jake Clifford. I tossed and turned, and
I just
yeah,
don't think he goes there.
I
I don't think he goes there.
I don't think he goes over there either. But if I'm building a club, he's got the ability that he could play 6 or 7, and I think you could pick him up reasonably cheap.
Yeah.
But I,
Another one that could be picked up for like to play fullback that'd be good for like a culture sort of thing and that experience and a good player to build all of your foundations off is James Tedesco's off contract as well. And whether or not they have a play at him to try and bring him over as the first captain but I don't see it likely. I think he finishes at the Roosters because
yeah,
I think the Roosters have done a lot for him, but it's still within the possibility. So there's a lot of our teams aren't going to be nice to see how close we get with the signings, but I don't know what direction they're going to go. I don't know what Miel wants. So, what sort of team he's going to want?
yeah. He's been involved in that Roosters culture, that Blues culture, the Australian
Yeah,
squad. I 100%. I could get around Tedesco going over there. It's just how many years you get out of him. He cops some shots week in, week out, like
yeah,
so.
yeah,
But
yeah,
if you can pick him up cheap enough and he can go over there for 2 years
yeah.
and sort of help build it up, like the Bromwich brothers and Kafusi and that have done at Dolphins. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. But I think
That's what I was thinking.
if the Bears can pick up a couple of players from that same club that are already amongst that culture already and sort of drag it along with them, I think that'll go a long way to helping them out as well.
Yeah, yeah. No, I
Um,
agree with it. So,
but
yeah,
7,
I've got Humphreys.
I can get
I
around it.
I, I was surprised that he was even on the market. I thought Souths had tied him up long term. And to be quite honest, when I seen his name, now that Pezzet's been signed, Pezzett would have been my first choice for the exact same reason. Up and coming halfback, and he's by far the best young halfback coming through that's on that available list for November 1.
Yeah,
And
I can get
I'd be
around
going
it, and
hard for him.
I
I'd be
I was
overpaying for him, to be honest, because
the other.
work out. It'll work out in the end that it won't be overpaid.
Yeah, well, you said about um, not understanding that why Souths haven't locked him up yet, but the other Tyron Wishart, I don't see why Melbourne haven't locked him down with Pezzett just leaving.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
how many years are we going to get out of Munster? And Hughes has signed on for 3 more years. Wishart, I'd be locking Wishart down because he's your next 6 that
yeah.
could quite easily transition into that 7 role when Hughes does retire.
Yeah.
But my number 7, he's from north of the border, and that's Jaden Campbell.
Yep. You reckon
I
Campbell?
he done enough for me at 7 this year that I could build a team around him, and I
Yeah.
think the Titans have got him playing 7 now, and they've got to lock him down to play their 7. He he's going to be a good 7. He's just got to get that preseason in and get some game time playing that role.
Yeah. I think Humphreys has a lot more upside to Campbell. I think I think Humphreys is more that natural halfback, and I think he's going to be a very, very, very good player. To be
Yeah,
quite honest, and I, I'm going to guess that South will lock him up. he won't stay free for long.
No.
I don't know why Manly let him go to begin with, because he was the succession for DCE. He would have been the perfect one to slide in there next to Brooks. So
Yeah.
I don't know why they've done that, to be fair.
Yeah.
But he's on the available list, so I'm gonna take him.
The other one I thought about for that 7 role was Tom Duffy. Cowboys
Yeah,
released him to go to Brisbane. Haven't re-signed him. They only wanted him for the 1 year.
yeah,
He showed a lot coming through that system and playing Queensland Cup. He got the nod at the start of the year for the Cowboys, and I think the hype of the NRL got to him. I think he didn't play nowhere near his potential that he showed coming through the Queensland Cup. So I think Tom Duffy could be a little sneaky buy for the Bears, I think.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I
but
agree with that.
moving on to the front row, and I'm sure it's on everyone's potential Perth Bears list, and that's Tino.
Yeah, I've got Tino.
Lock him in, purchase him, buy him for 5 years, build your
Yeah,
forward pack around Tino, give him the armband. He's the one to instill that steel,
yeah.
he's the one.
I 100% agree. And once he put himself on the open market, I think the Bears would have stood up and had a look at that. Apparently, the Storm are the number one favourites to sign him, but you got to have a discussion with the Bears, because I think the Bears can offer you a lot more, and he'll have a big say on how that club operates the
Yeah,
way that he wants it to.
the only thing that sort of I think holds him back from going to Perth is he's been in that Titan side that's been rebuilding for years on end now.
Yeah,
How much toll is that taken on him mentally, and can he go through it again? That
yeah.
that's the question that he'd be asking himself.
Well, he said the other day that he wants to win games,
Yeah,
and you're not going to the Bears with the expecting to win straight off the bat. You have to have
that's
a
right.
bit of a you know understanding that it's probably not all going to work out straight away.
No,
So
that's yeah. Um, my other front row pairing though, I went with Lindsay Smith coming out of that Penrith system. I think he could instill some good things over there too.
I agree with that, and I thought about that, but I was I wasn't thinking about a cap necessarily, and then kind of threw it to the wind anyway. But I'd have Collins there, or the one I've got down there is Kalapmatangi. I think him and Tino in
Yeah,
the front would be just really powerful. Both got offloads. I think that'd be a really good forward pairing. So
yeah. I think like Kulamatangi, he's good, and I think you're right. Like, but he's another one. I don't think let him go. He's
he's on the market. So that's why I put him down. Did Lindsay Smith get pushed out of that Penrith system, you reckon?
um. I think yeah. I'm not 100% sure the whole everything that's going on down there, but I just think he's been involved in that winning squad for a couple of seasons now, and he can take that winning feeling and take it to Perth with him.
Yeah, I can't see Penrith letting go of another good front rower like they did with Fisher Harris. It's so soon. I think they tie Lindsay up. Apparently the Knights are chasing him as well, Lindsay Smith. So yeah. We'll
Yeah,
just have to
well,
see what happens with that.
it gets worse for Penrith when it comes to my side because my one of my back rowers is coming out of that same system in Liam Henry.
Yeah, I've actually got. I don't think I have any Penrith players in here at all.
I think
I've done
Liam
it with.
He's young. He's been involved in that same winning culture.
Yeah,
He he can take that big run up like that heavy hit up. He can run a good line. He can find his hands and knees when he needs to. Tackles well. I being young, he's still got those couple little handling issues, but it's going to come with experience and playing more football games.
we're just going to do back rows now.
Yeah,
All right. Oh, so which is your other one?
my other back rower, he spent a bit of time in Penrith as well. Um, spent a bit of time up at the Cowboys,
I
done all
already
his
know.
juniors up there, and now he's probably one of the top three back rowers in the competition. That's kick out.
Yeah, I've got Kickout, but I've got Firma from the Gold Coast.
Yeah,
I think Firma would be a very very good signing. To be honest, he's unbelievable. He's outplayed the last 3 seasons. He's outplayed David Fafita, which hasn't really been hard, but he's been an absolute superstar for them. And I'd be trying to get into his ear, bring him and Tino from that system, and I think they're on a pretty good way with their forwards in that, to be honest.
yeah.
So and
Um,
kick out just keeps giving. He's won premierships. The Bulldogs are looking for some salary cap relief. Like Burton might be getting released, so he's another one that could end up there at 6. Would I take? I'd probably take Burton over Walters if he was available, but he wasn't on the available list, so that's why I didn't pick him. I didn't want to, a dream that hasn't happened. But if Burton became available, I'd probably take him over Walters, to be honest.
yeah. Um,
So,
all
who have
right,
you
to
got at
finish.
hooker?
Yeah. So our hooker, I started with Billy Walters, and
Yeah,
then went on to Jaden Berrell,
yeah,
um, playing second fiddle down there at the Shire. Doesn't get a whole lot of game time, and he's probably not going to get any game time in the near future with Brayley down there. Brayley's unbelievable, and
yeah,
um, I actually landed with Sam Verrills.
yeah. Sam Verrills
Yep,
from the Gold Coast.
from the Gold Coast. I think he's got enough first grade experience now. He's not a superstar hooker, but he can
Yeah,
do a
I
good
I
good
find he gets
job.
injured a lot.
Yeah, but he's got that first grade experience that he could be over there helping some up and coming juniors coming through those two cup sides.
Yeah, if
Um, yeah, hooker was a position that you could have went with like ideal world you got Harry Grant that's
yeah,
available, but yeah,
not
to be,
likely.
being more realistically, the other one I sort of thought about was Jake Simpkin from Manly.
Yeah,
Again, he's got enough first grade experience that he could go over there and be your starting hooker, and then sort of build from there.
yeah, yeah. I went with Corey Pakes. Just won a premiership. He's got Moses sitting there in behind him. He's available. You can upgrade his pay, and you can grab him. He's a very very good hooker, and you could lock him down in that 9 position. He's the first person to touch the ball every single set, and he's reliable. Gets in, makes his tackles. I think Pakes would be a really good direction to go. He just won a premiership, and I think that's what you're looking at. Like, obviously, my theme has sort of been that I'm trying to take a lot from that premiership winning team of the Broncos, but that's what happens with salary caps and bringing this team in. You lose players, and I think Pakes could probably be expendable to a certain degree after next season.
Yeah, I've got to agree. Like he's good a good fit, and you got him and Walters. But I think Brisbane try to sign one of them because yeah, you got Moser coming through, and that's all well and good. But yeah, is he going to be first grade ready?
Yeah,
You're going to have to
100%.
have you got to have that that challenge there as well. Like Ben Hunt retires at the end of next year, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah,
You're going to have nobody challenging, and if Pakes and Walters and Hunt are all gone, I
yeah,
hope Blake Moses got some big shoulders. Otherwise,
yeah.
well, Brisbane could also be going to the market. We don't know what's going on as well. Like
No, no.
they could be looking at a couple of these others that are
Yeah,
coming off contract as well. But yeah, I just think Brisbane try and lock Walters or Pakes down.
yeah, yeah.
But
We'll
yeah,
see what happens anyway. So here's your lock.
I went for a young lock, but he's played finals. He's come out of a pretty good system, and I went with Blake Steep
Yeah,
from the Roosters.
I've gone with experience mainly because this player, along with Tino, along with Firma, Kickow, I think I think this player is what you want to build your team around, on that toughness, on that not giving up and pushing in. So I went with Cam McInnes. I don't think the Sharks let him go, but he'd be an unbelievable player for them to have just through his pure experience and stuff like that. So I know he's getting a
Yeah,
little bit older, but
that was I've looked at McInnes and I thought the same thing, and it was the same with Hooker. And I thought about Damien Cook, and the age was a big thing for me, and how much toll like McInnes
yeah,
McInnes done his ACL this year.
I think it was his ACL. Yeah,
Yeah, so he's going to be recovering from that year, and like even like doing my own ACL, like you never know how you're going to come back from it. It's just one of those things. Like you're always second guessing yourself. So I guess we'll see how McInnes comes back, whether he's still that still that type of player or not.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
who's on your bench?
14, I got Wishart.
I I can get around it. I don't think he leaves that 14 role at Melbourne to go play 14 over there. I think
I
if he's going to leave Melbourne, he's going to want to go to a starting 6 or 7 role.
Yeah, I do understand that. I think I think that I've got him on there to replace Pakes, and then he's there to replace the halves if anything happens. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like, um, I I think he was the best option for 14 because he's so versatile. Um,
yeah.
yeah,
In my 14s, he brings a little bit of mongrel to the field when he comes out there, and you've seen it because he's been at your club this season and last season. There's Tyson Gamble.
I had Gamble as a thought. He was my other thought, but
He
I don't think he can play that hooker role very well, and that's where I don't think you can have a team without two hookers now. I think the 80-minute hookers a done thing. Like, there's not too many of them anymore.
Brayley,
Yeah, I know, but
Harry Grant, Reed
yeah,
Marnie. Most of the
mm,
teams are still running 80-minute hookers. They've just got that 14 is so versatile. They can play 9, 6, 7, 13 out in the centres.
yeah,
I do agree having that ability to be able to play 9 if needed.
yeah.
is a big thing. But yeah, I think it, if he has to play 9, and I guess it'll come down to coaching. Like if he's only going to go out there and do it for 10 minutes, I,
and then drop back to
I
lock.
yeah, you're only out there 4 or 5 sets. Like
Yeah, I
uh,
I I was trying to squeeze Gamble into my team because I actually really like Gamble and think he still deserves a spot in the NRL. I don't think he's quite ready to go to the Super League. Because I still really like Gamble, and unfortunately the Knights are moving on from him being an option.
yeah, I like his mongrel that he brings. Like
Yeah,
I think every team in the NRL needs somebody like Gamble that's got that bit of mongrel in them.
yeah,
But I guess that was just yeah. Um, my other three, they're all part of the forward pack that they
yeah,
could start if they really need to, but they
yeah,
are, yeah, I'd probably have them on the bench on my team if I'm the coach, and that's Josh Curran,
yeah,
Frankie Molo, and
yeah,
Sam Hughes.
yeah. That's
They've
very
all
good.
they've all been part of systems that win football games, and they're hard. They like yeah, they're just. I'm a fan of Sam Hughes. I think he's gonna go well.
Yeah, I went a bit different, but there's a lot to choose from really when you have a look at that list. Like
Oh,
you can sit there
100%.
and swap people. Like I wanted to put Curran in there, and then I took Curran out, and I went with Wong from the Roosters. He's an
Yeah.
up and coming young player. I've got Neen from the Cowboys.
No,
He's a good front rower.
I
I,
know.
I
I'm not saying he's not, but I'm not letting him go. You can get stuffed.
I'm going for Neen, and I've got
No, I
Sewer.
said no. I'm not signing that one off.
I've got Sewer to round it off there in the 17. So
Yeah, I don't mind Jaden Sawyer. He's when he's
I think
down, he's down.
under Mal, I think under Mal he'll go to another level. To be honest,
Yeah, my worry is when he's not on, he's not on.
I
But
think he needs to get out of that Dragon system.
yeah, but then I look at that Dragons system and like they could quite easily be going places as well. Like they're just that team, fucking
Yeah, they
Dragons.
they've been like that for ages. Though that's the thing. Well, they've got these good players that sit there. Like you see Lomax that's gone to another level again since he's left there. You know,
Yeah,
like
I think
I know that a lot of it had to do with he wanted to play in the centres, and he clearly his best spot's wing.
yeah, that's
But
right. But I don't know. I think Dragons are pretty close to sneaking into that 8 if Val Holmes and that uh, don't get injured. There was a
yeah,
couple of others as well, but Val Holmes is a big loss for him. Big loss for the Cowboys. We should never have let him go. I wish we had cap space.
yeah.
Um, but
But the thing is, you don't want to just sneak into that 8. You want to be competitive when you get to that 8,
what,
and show your
100%.
worth. Do you think the Dragons could show their worth in the 8 if they made it?
Well,
Or do you think they're a one and done?
yeah, I don't know. It's hard because you look at them through the season when they had a lot of close games,
Yeah,
and like you get to finals football, and finals football's a whole different beast.
I don't. I just don't see them getting that next year to do that finals football thing. I really don't.
If yeah, well, if I'm the Dragons, I'm probably going to the market this year and looking for an out and out number 7 because I don't think Flanagan's your 7.
I wish they had spent more time with Ilias. I think Ilias isn't as bad as what people make him out to be. So
The Dragons should be probably making a play at Hugo Svala the Roosters are
Yeah.
really going to push him out now with Cherry Evans signing the dotted line. Well,
Yeah, but
Savala,
what do you sign him for? Like, he's a good half. He's got a good boot on him, but I don't think that's going to be his position long term.
Savala could play 6, 7, or 13,
Yeah.
and he's yeah, he's probably a player that you could build around, and if you can lock him down, yeah,
Yeah. But the same with if they release Burton to have a look at options as well. Like, the Bears would be a good spot for him to land. Like, be good for the
yeah.
Bears in the.
I don't know. Burton can come up with the Cowboys, play
Well,
beside Tommy
on,
Dean.
that's on the cards too. So
So, I mean, I'd take Hugo up there too. Like,
yeah,
yeah, but yeah, there's so many variables, so many players that could, like we said before, this is all a Super League. We don't watch a whole heap of Queensland Cup or
oh,
New
I
South
think
Wales Cup.
Tristan Saylor could come back. He's 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 not a bad player. He's just
Does he? Does he
unfortunate
want
for the
to?
way things worked out. Hey,
Does he want to come back? Because he's gone over there and gone to a different level. He's
yeah,
he's he was killing it at the start of the year, and he killed it most of the year since. Uh,
yeah,
yeah, I don't think they're going to let him go without a fight for him anyway.
no.
So yeah,
It could be the same as Bevan French just doesn't want to, but some of
yeah.
those players
Well,
go over to England and they just really enjoy themselves. So
that's right.
I don't think I didn't see anything that in that Ashes game that stood out to sign for the Bears to be chasing. I yeah. What do you
Yeah,
reckon?
all
Like,
right.
George Williams is going to the Dolphins to
Yeah,
play alongside Katoa.
there, yeah. There's a couple of them. See, there's another one that Perth could pick up reasonably cheap, and that's Nicarima. He's getting replaced. Got
Yeah,
when he was on this year, him and Katoa worked so well together. They always talked about Nicarima this, Nicarima that, coming through that Brisbane setup, and he showed little glimpses. But this year, and yeah, since he went to the Dolphins, really, he's shown it more often. So
yeah,
I don't know, Perth, go over there, play on the Mal for a couple of years. He could be all right.
yeah. Oh, I agree with that. I think Nicarima was paid too much to go over to New Zealand, and that
Another
kind
one
of
that though,
killed it.
and he's another one that can play 6, 7, or 9 if really needed to. Like, he
Yeah,
could be your 14.
yeah, yeah. Definitely, definitely. But there's a lot of good players out there on the market, and all these other clubs that are struggling, they should be up having a look at some of these players as well. Just don't overpay for them. That quick fix, friggin' multi-million-dollar deal doesn't always work out. So for feeder, you know, Ash Taylor, all these players, they get given all this big money and it doesn't fill out. So you got to really pick and be sure of the player that you're getting and what reason you're getting them for. I know it's a very Titans play type thing to overpay, but that's what they've got to do. The Knights do the same thing. We've had some atrocious deals, so and we're yet to learn whether or not the Brown one's going to be an atrocious one or a good one. So
I'm still very much on the fence with Brown. I really don't see him as the 7. But
I
that's
don't think
just
you
my
will be the
opinion.
7. I don't think you will be the 7.
Um, yeah. So it's really interesting to watch and see how that whole thing pans out at Newcastle.
Yeah,
Especially with Sandon Smith confirmed, definitely going up the
for
valley.
4 years. Yeah,
Um, But yeah,
I just don't think you can send Fletcher Sharp back to the wing. I don't think there's a spot for him on the wing anyway. But I know that his best spot's fullback, but he's not better than Ponga. If Ponga's still there, Ponga's still the fullback. You need Fletcher Sharp in the middle of the field, around the ball.
yeah,
That's the problem, and the other problem is he didn't actually play that bad at 6 to justify taking him out of that out of the halves.
no,
People didn't think it was going to work when he got put into 6 in the first place, and he proved them wrong by having an outstanding season. So what's to say he can't play halfback?
yeah. Well, everyone doesn't know that that's where he learnt to play football. He played
Yeah,
7. He
yeah.
grew up like all through his Cessnock career. Like he was a 7. He went to the Knights as a 7.
And that's who I'd be having as me 7, and I'd have Sandon as the number 9.
He's his experience in the NRL. It's getting up there. Like he had a pretty horrific injury, ruled him out for the
Well,
good
he still
part of the
hasn't played
season.
that many games. He's proved himself, but he hasn't had that many games. He'd be still under
Yeah,
50 games.
yeah, I know that, but that's what I'm getting at. It's the experience of being able to run the team at an NRL level is probably going to be the only thing that hurts Fletch going to 7. But if he has the right players around him and he's got that experience in his forward pack that can get forward, get the hands and knees, and let him go from
Play,
there and get
yeah,
a roll on, work on his
play his
kicking
natural
game,
game.
kick the
Yeah,
corners. There's no
yeah.
reason Fletcher Sharp can't run that team.
Well, that's our teams anyway. Do you want to run through your whole team or?
Yeah, so just a bit of a recap. Buller at 1, Cobbo at 2, Jesse Arthurs as his wing partner, and then I got Nick Meaney, Ruben Garrick as my centre pairing. Avarillo at 6, Jaden Campbell 7, Big Tino and Lindsay Smith, me 2 front rowers. Sam Verrills, me hooker. Kick out Liam Henry as me 2 edge back rowers. Blake Steep packing in at 13. Then on my bench, Tyson Gamble, Josh Curran, Frankie Molo, Sam Hughes. I think, yeah, overall, I think there's a good balance in. There's yeah, some experience out there. There's some younger that are just starting their careers out. I just, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think that's a bad team, to be honest. I think it's pretty good. But my team was Jai Gray at fullback, Cobbo at 2, Arthur's at 5, Tomoko at 3, Garrick at 4, Billy Walters at 6, Humphreys at 7, Kalama Katangi at 8, Pakes at 9, Tino at 10, Kickout at 11, Fermor at 12, McInnes at 13, Wishart at 14, Wong at 15, Neen at 16, and Sewer at 17. I think that's a pretty over the cap team, to be honest. Once you go through some of those forwards, anyway. So, yeah.
So November 1's around the corner, and it's going to be an interesting time. These next couple of weeks, I think there's going to be a lot of talks, a lot of speculation about different player movements. Uh, yeah, I kind of can't wait. It's probably been one of the best off or the most talked about off season over the last few years. Anyway, I don't think there
Yeah.
was quite this much hype when the Dolphins come in.
No, because you kind of watched all the players go in and out and talk to them and turn them down. It was kind of underwhelming, I think. That's all you remember of it. Like the
Yeah,
Cheese went in there, turned him down. Ponga went in there, turned him down. Like everyone, Munster went in there, turned him down. You know, they only grabbed
I think
the hammer at last minute before the season.
yeah, well, and that was because he couldn't find his way back to that one spot with us. But I think the
Yeah.
NRL have probably watched it a bit more closer this time around, and yeah, they,
It'll be interesting.
I would assume that there'd be phone calls that have already been made.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing that the media and the NRL, they're not, the phones aren't getting tracked. Like, there'd be
Yeah.
players that Bears have spoke to that nobody knows about, and there'd be a couple of little handshakes going on here, and we can offer you this, and yeah, so
Yeah.
this is all just speculation, and this is
Yeah.
these teams like, yeah, I
And at
can't
the end
wait.
of the day, you don't know what sort of third party agreements they've got. It would have been part of the application, what they can provide third party wise to make them competitive and all of that. It'd be a lot more complex than what we think it is. So, than what we notice it is anyway. So, it'll be interesting. It's going to be a pretty interesting off season anyway, and into next season. So, a few of those players they're going to have to move quickly on to get their signature, but there might be a few of those bigger ones that they can hold off a little bit and sort of see where they want to be in 6 months' time. So as long as it's all before pre-season next year, I suppose, and they'll have a fair idea of where they're going to be at. So yeah. So we do a little bit of a sports wrap. We had the Pacific Championships. Samoa beating Tonga in that game that was rain delayed for a very long time. Or we was watching the game and then got over the delay and ended up playing PlayStation instead. But um, yeah, it wasn't too bad a game. Good on Samoa for making the win, and it puts the pressure on Tonga to try and beat New Zealand this week, or it'll be a New Zealand Samoa final, which is pretty good for the Samoa after making that other final not too long ago either.
Yeah, I don't the way Tonga played. Um, I don't know. It just didn't look up for it. I mean, I know there was a lot of their players hadn't played much football of late, but
I think they were getting back into the game just before that rain delay. To be fair, I think if that game doesn't get delayed, I think it's a very different outcome. I think Tonga was starting to get the momentum going
I
their
think
way.
losing the captain the night before the game probably deflates them a little bit. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, but I, I don't see him beating New Zealand. I think
They
New
also
Zealand,
they lost Stefano like 5 minutes into the game too.
100%, which he's already ruled out for this week, so he doesn't play.
Yeah.
Um,
Same as Yo. Yeah.
yeah, no, I haven't read anything on any Cowboys pages or anything to see how Tamalolo's going, whether he'll.
Apparently he's back in.
So,
I
um,
think.
yeah, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one, but
Yeah.
I don't think they beat New Zealand.
No, I don't see him beating New Zealand. New Zealand are coming off a high off that first game and had the fortnight off, or the week off. The Ashes team, like I said before, England didn't get very much. I don't think though were. I don't think. I think England had the ability. I think they just went about it the wrong way and tried to pass their way to victory, and it didn't quite work out for them. It was a close game for majority of it. It wasn't like it was a flogging from the get go. They just tired out in the end. So I think that I think England are on the right trajectory, but surely they could have you know included Brimson into that team to help give a little bit of spark to it. Like Farnworth was unbelievable. George Williams was doing really well, but you can see that they've had NRL experience. So otherwise, the forwards and that were just getting beaten back, and you know, Bateman's still a grub. So
No.
you say he put the knee into the back of freaking old mate's head.
Yeah, I did. And yeah, I did. Plays for the Cowboys. I've got to defend him.
He's just got that grub in him. He was an option for that Bears team, and I could not put him in there for the simple fact of he's not what he was when he was at Canberra, and two, he gives away too
Yeah.
many penalties. And you don't need that with a new team that needs confidence.
No, you don't. But I don't know. I stayed up. I knew if I went to sleep, I wouldn't get back up to watch it, and it's been the first Ashes for a while, so I really wanted to watch it live. Yeah, I think Australia were good. Like at the end of the day, they were the ability to go wide, and I don't think England had. They just didn't
Not
have
Walsh.
No, they didn't have Reece Walsh at all.
No,
Like,
they don't have that game breaker to step up. And I think Brimson could have gave him a little bit of that because he brings that sort of energy, you know.
where do you play him?
Fullback.
You move on Wellesby.
Yeah. I don't think Wellesby did anything spectacular to warrant keeping his position.
Yeah, but I think a lot of the England team gets picked simply because they play in England week in, week out. Like,
Yeah, well, that's what was said that Sean Wayne went for. We'll show you that there's enough talent in the Super League on its own without NRL players,
yeah.
but he still had NRL players in there.
Oh, he had a
Like
couple,
he
yeah.
would,
But
if
Brimson
Radley
has,
was if Radley's available, he would have put him in there. Like Radley makes a difference to that team.
yeah. Like Dominic Young hasn't played since start of September.
Yeah,
John Bateman hasn't played since the start of September. Brimson would have been the same. Like, yeah, if you go adding too many NRL players, I think, especially for those the players that haven't played since we started finals, like it's a long time without playing football.
the problem's going to be that they're going to pick these players. Australia's going to come out and flog them, and then they're going to re-pick new players and start with new combinations. And next year's a World Cup. Like they need to try and build off what they've already got and improve on it. Have a look at last week's game and bring those players in, or change out those players that did let you down and put in players that will do the job for you.
Yeah. All right. Game 2 played at Everton on Sunday morning. I think, yeah, if the first 20 minutes are played quite similar to game 1, Australia go on, they win it, and they probably win the series 3-0. England come
Yeah,
out in those first 20 minutes and bash Australia. It's
yeah,
game on, and the series is on.
yeah. They've just got to want it. That's all. That's all they've got to do. Like the Aussies are going to think that they're just going to walk all over them, and that's the worst thing with Australia. You come out and go at them and give them a competition, they struggle to find the form that they need to. But time will tell. Australia's got a pretty strong team. I just don't think that it's sad to see England so far behind.
Who gets the lock roll?
With
Do
it
you think?
Yo out,
Do you think Ethan?
Carrigan.
Do you
Carrigan's
think
already
Carrigan
been
moves
named.
across?
They've already named the team. Carrigan's
Oh,
been named a lot.
yeah,
Lindsay Smith's coming into
yeah.
in the front row.
That's how out of service I've been the last couple of. Um, I know that there was a bit of talk with a stranger get the debut and possibly play that 13 role.
Yeah,
I,
I could have
I could
seen that.
I could have really got around it. I think he could quite easily play 13 and be that
Yeah,
ball player.
He might be on the bench to come in and do that exact thing. I'm not 100% sure.
Do you
I
carry
can have a look.
Strange and Tommy Dean? No.
Um, yeah, if you're going to play him at 13, you could, I think.
You run the risk of not having that person that could go out and play front row or back row. Or you take two head knocks, lose two front rowers. Even Strange and Tommy Dean can't go out and play in the front row.
Oh, sorry. Lindsay Collins has gone to front row with Tino, and Lindsay Smith's on the bench with
Yeah,
Ruben Cotter and Kalamalta Tongi. So, no, he didn't. Strange didn't make it into the. He's not even on the extended bench.
yeah,
So, but yeah,
just
Carrigan's gone back to 13.
yeah. I know there was talk of Strange or possibly Cotter go to 13 and Carrigan stays up front, which I could have got around as well. But
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I don't know why the Super League's so far behind the NRL though. And do you see it improving with the
Oh
NRL purchasing them and implementing rules and everything?
no, because I think that it comes down to the training and attitude. I don't think it's anything less. You know what I mean? Like it's just the way the training facilities and all that are set up. It's also the way they play the game. They play to score every set. Australia doesn't. We play defence and
Yeah,
build
one thing that
pressure.
really annoyed me with that first game was how much the English team slowed it down.
Yeah,
Like Australia's just so
yeah.
get it moving, and yeah, they just I don't know. It annoyed me.
We do have
Um,
we've got an Australian referee this
yeah, the
week. So
referee this week being Australian. Yeah, hopefully it does speed it up a little bit, but
yeah,
and I think that could also really, really hurt England.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
because if it is faster, they're just gonna fall behind even.
Also, the NRL teams have better competition to play against. Like every single NRL game's not an easy game. They're a hard game. Where in the Super League,
Yeah,
you've got teams in there that aren't really up to standard of a first grade
well,
competition. They're not playing the best of the best every week like they sort of do here. So that's a conditioning thing as well.
but I
So
think if the NRL does officially take it all over, I think that part of the game could change a little bit, and there'd be a little bit more competition because teams would be able because yeah they'll have their caps. The teams would be able to pay for other players, and I think it'll spread that talent out a little bit more and bring them more closer together.
yeah, no, I agree. I watched a little bit of the cricket the other day. One of the one days, the one where India were going down with cramp by the end of the game, which confused me. I thought it must have been some sort of tactic that they were playing, but
Well,
do you reckon it was a tactic?
you can waste a little bit of time. Um,
There was like six of them down with cramp at the same time.
yeah, I don't know. I didn't. I watched the last game of the one days, but yeah, I don't know. It's a different heat and different climate over here compared to what they're used to, and
Yeah,
I think that plays on a lot of them. So
yeah,
they could very well have been just simple cramps. That and they
yeah,
played game three in Sydney was only 2 days after the Adelaide game.
yeah,
Some of them would have been fatigued.
yeah.
It was good to see Coley back in the runs, but I mean, not so good for Australia, but batted
No,
well, come out bit iffy to begin with, but once he got off that duck, he just went to work. And it was
yeah,
like Yeah, you wouldn't have thought that he'd got back-to-back ducks.
No.
Same as Rohit Sharma. Like, you wouldn't have thought that he'd been struggling to score runs. That 100 the other night was just it's clean. It's hardly a chance given. It
Yeah.
was good. So,
Yeah.
um,
I don't think it's been too bad of a one day series. I think the 2020 started today, but you know, it's a
yeah,
good warm up before we take on England in the Ashes anyway. So, which I'm looking forward to.
yeah, I can't wait for the Ashes.
Yeah.
So, although Amanda told me the other day that probably not going down to her parents for Christmas, so quite possibly not going to the Melbourne Test. All I want to
The
do is
Met.
go to a Boxing Day Ashes Test.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably not going to happen this year. So
Yeah.
wait for him to come back again in a couple of years' time. Maybe I sneak down to Sydney and go
Maybe
and
we
watch a
do.
one dayer.
Yeah, maybe we do.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Go watch day 3 of the Sydney Test.
Well, I remember years ago I went and watched India and Australia. It was the year Michael Clark got his 329, and yeah, it started day one, and then by the end of day one, I'd bought tickets for day two,
Yeah.
and then at lunchtime day two, I bought tickets for 3, 4, and 5. It was
Yeah.
just the atmosphere down there, unbelievable.
Yeah. I
And
want to. I want to see what it's like. I've never been to a cricket game at all, so
that's why I'd love to go watch Boxing Day Test, especially an Ashes Test. Listening to the
yeah,
Barmy Army,
yeah,
giving them a gobful.
yeah, yeah. Well, this week I haven't got much on gaming other than the Battlefield 6 Battle Royale mode coming out yesterday. I've been giving it a go. It's not too bad. You can pay duos or quads. I need a partner. I think I'd be far better off on it, but it's actually really good and it's free for anyone that has a PS5, Xbox, PC. You can play that mode for nothing, so which is really good. But yeah, you got anything for gaming?
I've done absolutely zero gaming. Most of my weekend was packing everything up, ready to go away for work, and well, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
still away. So I'm
yeah,
back working some big days and whatnot now. So I haven't had a lot to do with any gaming. I watched a few videos on the new cricket, but um, yeah, I'm still very much looking forward to cricket coming out in a couple of weeks. Project
yeah.
Motorsport as well. Um,
I know we've got the new Xbox that we can talk about and stuff like that, but it's already at an hour 20 now, so we just drag it out more. So we might save that till next week when there's not as much to talk about.
yeah, I'll do a bit more research on the Xbox. So I'm very interested to see how that multi-platform is going to work.
Yeah. All right, we'll move into our predictions anyway. So our predictions are brought to you by Crosshair Pipe and Excavation. For your needs in pipe laying, poly welding, or excavations, head over there to the Facebook page and get in touch with Zach.
Hoover's tips this week because well, he's not here, so we'll
Yeah.
get his out of the way.
So he's got New Zealand to beat Tonga, and he has the San Francisco 49ers to beat whoever they're playing. I haven't got the draw up in front of me, so I'm not sure who they're playing. I got a win last week, so both of my predictions come right with Australia and the Ravens, which was a little bit of a cop out. We also got our 3-horse trifecta for the Cox Plate. We're going to do the Melbourne Cup, but we'll post that onto our page once we've figured out what we've got. Because Hoover's not here, and then we'll talk about it after the Cup's run, I suppose, whether we won or not. But yeah, I've got the Ravens to win this week.
Back to back.
Yeah, Ravens to go back to back, beat Miami. And I've also got Man United to beat Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, well, hopefully. Nottingham Forest. The season can't get much worse. United, pains me to say it, but they are starting to play some good football over there.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Manchester's still blue, and it will stay blue. For all you United supporters, well, false hopes and dreams. So
Pretty confident they'll get a win this week.
they should. If you look at United over the last few years, they should have won a lot more games that they didn't. And it's teams like Forest that are ones they've dropped points to.
Yeah.
But yeah, Forest, they're down in the dumps. Like, sacked poor Inge. And yeah, relegation. So they might as well go back now.
I think they're in dramas, yeah.
So my couple of teams, I've gone with the A-League, and I'm not much of an A-League supporter these days. I find it very slow. It's so much behind the rest of the world. But both my tips are coming from the A-League. Sydney FC to knock the Jets off. The Jets, they won the cup. They
won last week.
Lost to Central Coast round 1. Last week they got a win, but still don't think it was convincing enough. I think, Sydney FC. Be a good game, but I think Sydney FC will pip them in the post. Other one, they should win quite easily, and it's part of that whole City band and Melbourne City to beat the Brisbane Roar.
So you got both yours are in the A-League this week?
I've gone both A-League this week. City and Brisbane, they kicked the round off on Friday night up by 7. Played in Brisbane. I think, Melbourne's too strong. They've been right up the top for a couple of years now, and I think they'll continue that and beat Brisbane on Friday night.
Yep. Well, that's our predictions for the week. So, should be good. And Melbourne Cup on Tuesday.
Yeah, so jump on the Facebook page, get over there. We will post what our prediction. I'm just going to put a box trifecta in there. Pick a horse each, and maybe a conjoined trifecta as well as picking our own trifectas. See how close we all are.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see how we go. So, you got anything else for this week?
No, I think that's just about it. As I said, we'll do a bit of research on this new combined system, and we'll give you our thoughts on it next week.
Yep.
Talk about how much we've lost on Melbourne Cup.
Yep. Well, that's bye from us anyway.
Yeah, it's hooroo from me, and I guess Hoover's, he's probably asleep, being crook, but be see ya from him.
I miss his see ya. Need him back for the see ya.
Yeah,
Hopefully he can give us his team next week. So, all right, bye from us. Thank you for joining Zach Hoover and I on the Incoherent podcast. If you'd like to follow us on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from, also head over to our Facebook page and follow us there. We're also on Instagram, the Incoherent podcast. Thank you. Bye.